America the beautiful, home of the brave, home of the free, and most certainly home of the weird. With summer on the way, at least at the time of this production, gas prices going down, and summer break on the horizon, we can expect road trippers to be loading up the old Winnebago and rolling across the country in record numbers. And they're going to have to make at least a few stops along the way. Some of these stops are going to be mundane. Others not so much, and others yet downright weird. Therefore, we find it prudent to dedicate this episode of the Dandy Funhouse to counting down the top 10 weirdest roadside attractions in America. Let's step into the funhouse.
Where am I?
You just entered the Dandy Funhouse.
Hello and welcome to the Dandy Funhouse video show, podcast, and blog. I'm your host, Neil Dandy, and this is where we seek the strangest retro pop culture, toys and games, and all the fun stuff you can whack yourself out on. In this episode, we'll be counting down the top 10 weirdest roadside attractions in America. But first, bend your bean brain around these abnormal Dandy Funhouse t-shirts, specially woven from beard trimmings. We promise you'll look amazing. But that's not all. We've even cut 4 special holes in them for added entertainment. 1 to crawl your body into, 1 to poke your head out of, and 2 to stick your arms through. Want one? Just head over to dandyfunhouse.com to get yours. Or if you're watching on YouTube, we've got a mini fun shop set up there too. Orky dorky, enough swag swinging. We're here to count down the top 10 weirdest roadside attractions in America, and that starts right now with number 10, the world's largest ball of twine in Cawker City, Kansas. Now this one grabbed my attention because I've always loved the song by Weird Al Yankovic, Biggest Ball of Twine in Minnesota. So naturally I assumed that the world's largest ball of twine would indeed be in Minnesota. But no, apparently it's just the biggest ball of twine in the state of Minnesota. Because the actual world's largest ball of twine resides in Cawker City, Kansas. The full and proper name would be the world's largest ball of sisal twine, which was started by a man named Frank Stober in 1953 after dedicating 4 years of his life to enlarging this twine ball. He got it up to 5,000 pounds and a height of 8 feet. And once a year in August, the residents of Cawker City get together and have a twine-a-thon where everyone adds more to the ball, so it gets bigger every year. The world's largest ball of twine currently weighs in at over 27,000 pounds. Number 9, the Big Idaho Potato Hotel in Boise, Idaho. Now, this is exactly what it sounds like. A giant potato in Boise that you can book as a hotel room. What? Why? How? I've got so many questions. It's 6 tons of steel, plaster, and concrete, placed in the middle of 400 acres of farmland with a custom-built queen-size bed and a small seating area inside and air conditioning. The restroom and shower are in a nearby converted grain silo, however. But why? Well, in 2012, the Idaho Potato Commission commissioned its construction as its main attraction for the 75th anniversary of the founding of the Idaho Potato Commission. It then traveled the country on the back of a large truck for 7 years, spreading the gospel of the Spud for all of America to hear and see. Now, upon the end of its 7-year journey, Potato Commission employee and tiny home builder Christy Wolf took charge of the large Spud and put it to good use in the middle of some prime Idaho farmland, transforming it into a destination accommodation that Spud lovers from near and far come to drift away to starchy dreamland in. Number 8, the world's largest cedar bucket, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Okay, this one is in my hometown of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, home of the Dandy Funhouse Studios. The world's largest cedar bucket lives in a quaint recreation of a pioneer town known as Cannonsburg Village. The one currently on display is actually a replica of the original, which was built in 1887 by the Tennessee Red Cedar Woodworks Company, which was the only company in America making cedar buckets at the time. It was created over the course of an entire year as a promotional attraction for the company, who took it on tour to fairs around the country, winning a blue ribbon at the 1893 Chicago World's Fair, as well as the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair, who filled it with beer, as you might expect in St. Louis. 1,566 gallons of it. In 1950, a man named Charles White purchased the bucket at an auction and later donated it to Cannonsburg Village in Murfreesboro, Tennessee in 1976. Now, the bucket was partially destroyed in 2005 due to a fire, but was lovingly crafted back to life by the Rutherford County Blacksmith Association and rededicated back to Cannonsburg in 2011. Dandy fun fact! Did you know that Murfreesboro, Tennessee is the exact geographical center of the state? We've got an obelisk that says so. Now, an obelisk is, well, it's a tall, pointy pile of rocks erected to signify something of perceived importance. Number 7. The future birthplace of Captain James T. Kirk in Riverside, Iowa. True Trekkies know that in the original series, Captain Kirk's birthday is March 22nd, 2228 in the town of Riverside, Iowa. In the year 1985, a local Trekkie in town suggested to the city council that they erect a proper memorial in the captain's honor. The council agreed, and it's been a destination for Star Trek fans worldwide ever since. Number 6. Corn Palace, Mitchell, South Dakota. The Corn Palace is a multi-purpose facility and event arena located in the lovely city of Mitchell, South Dakota. Now, while that's not exactly impressive, the fact that the entire building is completely covered in crop art, meaning all the designs and artwork are made from corn, grains, and other decomposable organic materials, very much is. Because the architectural designs and external artwork are continually breaking down, an entirely new design is created each and every year, making the Corn Palace almost an actual living, breathing event venue. Over 500,000 people visit it every year to behold its corniness, and the town of Mitchell celebrates its biggest attraction with the Corn Palace Festival during harvest time. Number 5. Mystery Spot, Santa Cruz, California. According to the Mystery Spot's website at mysteryspot.com, the Mystery Spot is a gravitational anomaly located in the Redwood Forest just outside of Santa Cruz, California. It is a circular area of effect about 150 feet in diameter. Now, within the Mystery Spot, you'll be stunned as your perceptions of the laws of physics and gravity are questioned. Discovered in 1939 by a group of surveyors and opened to the public in 1940, what it actually is a gravity hill, tilt-induced visual illusion resulting from a tilted environment. This causes misperceptions of the height and orientation of objects, including balls rolling uphill and people leaning farther than normally possible. Of course, there's no actual defying of gravity, it's just that everything in the immediate surrounding area is all tilted in the same direction and to the same degree, causing your brain to misinterpret the true horizon. Regardless, the place is a mind freak, and it's absolutely on my list of places to check out should I ever dare venture again to California. Now, number 4, Spam Museum, Austin, Minnesota. Did you know that Minnesota has an entire museum dedicated solely to Hawaii's favorite breakfast meat? That's right, the city of Austin, Minnesota is home to the one and only Spam Museum. Best of all, it's completely free. Even better, their Spam ambassadors give guided tours to groups of less than 10 people, and virtual tours are also available. I don't really know what they mean by virtual tours. I'm not sure if you simply log on through the internet from wherever you are, or if it's just a recorded guide you pull up on your phone while you're in the museum in person following a predetermined route. Now, they also hand out free samples. I'm kind of at a loss for words on this, but if you'd like to visit the Spam Museum or just learn more, you can visit their website at spam.com/spam-museum. But refrain from emailing unwanted solicitations, please. Number 3, the Haynes Shoe House, Pelham Township, Pennsylvania. The Haynes Shoe House is a 5-story house built in the shape of a work boot by Mahlon Haynes, who owned a shoe business. It was basically created in 1948 as a marketing stunt and was rented out to elderly couples and newlyweds. In more recent years, it's been a museum, ice cream shop, and also an Airbnb. Now, this oddball attraction received a historical marker from the Pennsylvania Historic and Museum Commission in July 2023, and it is visible when driving down US Route 30. Number 2, Igloo City, Cantwell, Alaska. Igloo City is a giant 4-story building in the shape of an igloo, which was created in the 70s for the purpose of being a unique destination hotel sitting at the halfway point between the cities of Anchorage and Fairbanks. Now, unfortunately, due to repeated failures getting the structure to adhere to building codes, Igloo City was never opened. Ownership has changed hands multiple times over the years, but it's largely just sat abandoned all this time. Now, the most recent ownership change happened in 2023, with the new deed holders announcing plans to turn it into a distillery. And now for the one you've been waiting for. The number 1 weirdest roadside attraction in America, as determined by the Dandy Funhouse video show, podcast, and blog, is Al Johnson's Goats on the Roof in Sister Bay, Wisconsin. Now, this is a banging, or should I say banging, Swedish restaurant that just so happens to have a grass-covered roof with goats on it. The restaurant itself is famous for being the greatest of all time at making delicious lingonberry pancakes. But how'd a bunch of goats end up on the roof? Well, Mr. Johnson, the owner, had a friend named Wink Larson who put a goat named Oscar on the roof one year as a birthday prank. It was so well received that Mr. Johnson decided to go ahead and incorporate roof goats as a permanent feature of his restaurant, because who doesn't want livestock near the ventilation shafts of a place that makes and serves food? But I'm sure they got all that worked out with the health department. I digress. And for all you PETA warriors out there, the goats are not exposed to the harsh Wisconsin winter elements, as they are only on display from late May through mid-October, and every night they are chauffeured back home to Goat Farm Manor, where they are lovingly and tenderly tucked into their little goat beds and read cute little farm stories until they bleat themselves to sleep. But not until the farmer checks under the little goat beds to make sure there are no scary Swedish chefs lurking and hiding. Orky dorky! And there you have it, the Dandy Funhouse countdown of the top 10 weirdest roadside attractions in America. Honorable mentions also include the Pez Visitor Center in Orange, Connecticut, the world's largest ketchup bottle in Collinsville, Illinois, Wild Blueberry Land, Columbia Falls, Maine, the Clown Doll Museum in Plainview, Nebraska, and the world's largest chest of drawers in High Point, North Carolina. But don't take my word for it. Get out there on the road this summer and see it all for yourselves, and let me know what your favorite is by sending me a message through the Dandy Funhouse website at dandyfunhouse.com, where you'll also find our Dandy Fun Shop, where absurdity is amplified, as well as our patronage page, where you can become a supporter of future productions of the Dandy Funhouse. Now, supporters get exclusive access to special bonus features not accessible to the general public, and super supporters get all that same stuff, plus I'll mail you something extra dandy from right here at the Dandy Funhouse Studios if you provide your mailing address. Podcast listeners may donate via the donation button in your listening app of choice, and 5-star reviews anywhere you can leave them always get my undying gratitude. And speaking of hitting the road, I think it's time for me to put the pedal to the floor and fly on out the door. Thanks for hanging out, and get your weird little selves back here real soon. Right here to the Dandy Funhouse, where everything is always fun and dandy. Stay weird.
Selamat menemukan
I'm Larry.